Welcome to this edition of This Week in East Brunswick. This week we'll travel to several arts organizations to find out what's going on. At the Zimmerli Art Museum in New Brunswick, we'll show you a colorful and playful exhibit that appeals to children of all ages. Dolly Vasta brings us another arts update from Playhouse 22, and the students at Bowne, Munroe are on the stage with their latest production. These stories and more are coming up, including information about credit card security with Adrian Eisner, a look at what's happening at East Brunswick Public Schools, and energy information from PSE&G. We'll also have the latest from the Township Council. But first, here's a look at what's happening next week on Channel 8. Monday morning at 10, Lenore Kulik demonstrates interval training and aerobics on Look Great, Feel Great. That's followed at 10:30 by stories for preschoolers on Stories from the Library. Tuesday night at 7:30, Paul Hansen and his guests Steve Meckler and Larry Weisblum provide a year-end economic wrap-up on You and Your Money. At 8 o'clock, tour the Ramada Renaissance Hotel with John Runyon on business bylines. The Rutgers Merck Institute and the schools is the focus of Spotlight on Education Wednesday evening at 7:30. And with U.S. involvement in the Middle East escalating, are teenagers still enlisting in the military? Stuart Davis investigates this month on 18 with a trip to the Navy recruiting station in East Brunswick. That's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. This Week in East Brunswick returns Thursday night at 7 and 8 with local news and information. And at 7:30, Let's Talk Health focuses on the fields of ophthalmology and optometry. For announcements of what's happening in the community during the holidays, check the Channel 8 Community Bulletin Board.
Welcome to the Jane Voorhees Zimmerli Art Museum, part of Rutgers University. We have opened a new exhibition entitled Harry Devlin, Illustrations for Children's Literature. My name is Laura Fatal, and I am the Curator of Education, one who plans all the educational programs for college students, for public school students, for preschoolers, for seniors, and for adults. I hope we can interest all of you in the exhibition we have up presently. This exhibition lasts through February 24th. Many of the characters you will see in Harry Devlin's novels and fiction work come from his own family. He has 7 children and about 35 grandchildren, and many of these characters appear in the pages of his books. He has written for over 25 books with his wife, Wendy Devlin. She does most of the text, and he does all of the illustrations. You will note some of the illustrations behind me have extensive black outlining. This is the draftsmanship ability of Harry Devlin is where it is most evident. And you can see how he has colored in most of the skies and water and figures into with various bright colors that are very attractive to children. His draftsmanship ability is also evident in many of his architectural illustrations. He has his figures in sometimes rusty, old, broken down houses and sometimes beautiful, large, palatial farmhouses. He varies the architecture, particularly in many of his stories. Harry Devlin has an interest in architecture, and a concurrent exhibition at the Morris Museum is featuring his architectural drawings. So be sure to see that exhibition as well and see the broad range of talents that Harry Devlin in fact has. Wendy starts writing her story, and Harry then takes the text, looks at it, and starts creating the illustrations that he thinks is appropriate. He has many characters that reappear, such as Mr. Whiskers, who you see behind me. You see a papier-mâché sculpture of Mr. Whiskers with his navy outfit and large brass buttons, and you have a wonderful illustration over here that shows the very large prickly beard that Mr. Whiskers has. Mr. Whiskers is a solitary character who always is befriended by Maggie and her grandmother through many of the stories. A series of stories that Harry Devlin does are called the Cranberry series, and the figure of Mr. Whiskers appears in Cranberry Thanksgiving, and that is from this story here, published in 1971. He is often shown as somewhat likable, but also a bit reclusive, and it becomes Maggie and the grandmother's job to pull him out of his reclusiveness to greet the public and be part of the family that is evident in so many of the stories. One of the earliest books Harry Devlin illustrated was entitled The Nobby Boys Comes to the Rescue, and it includes some of the sequencing that becomes characteristic of the Devlins' work together. We have a carriage running down a steep slope, and gypsies are in this carriage and they've just run off with a baby bear. Though this is one episode, it is typical of the sort of climax that Harry Devlin has illustrated and put into all of his books, whether we have Mr. Whiskers running down a flight of stairs, or we have Hester from Hang On Hester series hanging on to the top of a weather vane. We always have one very climactic episode in each of the books that are particularly well illustrated and act as a seminal point to the books themselves. We have several days of programming here at the Zimmerli that include special events for children. One is coming up this Saturday, December 15th, and Harry Devlin himself is coming to read a story to the children in the gallery. He will be in fact, this gallery, and he will be here from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock reading Cranberry Christmas, of course, because of the upcoming holiday. After that, he will be autographing books for children. Perhaps as a highlight of this show will be February 2nd, a Saturday, from 12 to 5 when the galleries are opened, and particularly from 2 to 5 will be a symposium on children's literature. We have several star speakers, including the Devlins, of course. Wendy and Harry will be there, but also Stan and Jan Berenstain will be there, of Berenstain Bear fame. Dr. Renee O'Leary will be here from Children's Television Workshop, perhaps better known to most people as Sesame Street, and Martha Fried-Casorla, a psychologist who has interviewed many couples working together, will moderate the panel. In addition to that, Kay Vandergrift, again, the professor from the School of Communication here at Rutgers, will give a historical overview of children's literature from World War II to the present. Sherry Gawley, the curator for this exhibition, will give a walkthrough, so anyone who is here will be able to have a curatorial view of how the exhibition was put together. And again, they'll be autographing, this time of both the Devlin books and the Berenstain books. One of the publications that the Zimmerli has put together for this exhibition is a beautiful catalog entitled, just as the exhibition is, Harry Devlin, Illustrations for Children's Literature. And it highlights many of the works that you see on exhibition here, as well as the text by Sherry Gawley on the exhibition.
Hi, I'm Dolly Vasta with your Playhouse 22 Arts Update for this week, and I'm at Playhouse 22 right at the moment. Seated next to me is a very old friend, and I say that often, old friend, but I've known Michael Tabenslag since he was about yay high.
You want to say how many years you've known me, Doll?
Huh? How old are you, Mike?
28.
That's how long I've known Mike. And he has turned into a fabulous director. And he's directing, yes, the show that opens this weekend, which is They're Playing Our Song. It opens Friday night. What is the show about, Mike? I know what the show is about. I want you to understand
The show is a love story about Sonia and Vernon, and basically it's the old Hollywood formula. Boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl again. And it's a lot of fun. The show is written by Neil Simon with wonderful music by Marvin Hamlish, who also wrote a chorus line, and Carol Bayer Sager, who used to write with Peter Allen and who now is married to Burt Bacharach. And it's actually the Marvin Hamlish, Carol Bayer Sager love story.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's also starring two very favorite people of ours.
Stephen Sackman and Donna Manfredi.
Yes, who have been seen at the Playhouse stage many, many times. So let's see. Let's recap for just a second. They're Playing Our Song. It opens this Friday night. It plays Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinees.
At 3 o'clock.
That's right. So this Friday night is December 14th, and it plays through January 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
Anybody who's ever been in love will laugh at this show a lot.
Oh, it's a fun show. It really is. And I don't know whether all the seats are taken for New Year's Eve, but this is the show that will be our New Year's Eve gala.
We still have several tickets left.
Are there?
Not many, but several tickets left.
Good. So call the box office 254-3939, and we'll see you all Friday night.
Come on down and be prepared to laugh.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, get to work.
Let's go.
Go.
What are you doing?
You sit here, and I'll be on the sofa.
Okay. You're not going to lie down, are you? I mean, that's really official, lying down.
Well, I don't have to if it makes you uncomfortable.
I wouldn't want a malpractice suit, but go ahead, lie down.
Well, let's see, where shall I begin?
I feel like I should have a pipe in my mouth or something.
Shh. You have to be quiet.
Sorry.
All right, Leon and I have been living together for close to 5 years now. I have known
Excuse
him
me.
almost 10 years.
What time did we start?
That's not important, just listen.
Sorry.
We met back at college. Middlebury. He was in the band and I was editor of the school paper.
Yes, I know.
You know? How do you know?
I just assumed you would have told me this in one of our previous sessions.
No, don't actually be my doctor. It's not going to get that confidential. Let me talk, you just listen, okay?
Sure, that's easy. Hell of a way to make a living.
Well, everything was going really well for a while, but then about the last year or so, I felt the need to be more independent, to be out on my own. We were still working together, but it just wasn't as good as it was in the beginning. So I began working with other composers, had a few hits, played a few clubs, recorded some. Please keep saying aha. It's really distracting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was really nervous going out in front of all those people, but the really exhilarating thing was this feeling of being in control of my own life. I mean, when you get out there and you're all alone, if you can cut that, you can cut anything. It was about a few weeks ago when I finally decided to sever the umbilical cord forever. And that's just about when I met you.
Is me Vernon or the doctor?
Vernon! You're always Vernon! The doctor's in Mexico!
Gotcha. Just wanted to get things straight. Go on, this is fascinating.
Anyway, as I said, that's just about when I met you. And there was something different about you. A little intimidating. I'm always concerned with what you're thinking. And I like that, because it means I have to come up with the goods. I like challenges.
Hello, I'm Amy Fisher, and I'm the Director of Community Relations for the school system. Today I'm in the studio with Dr. John Kopko, our Superintendent of Schools, and we're going to talk about the future. John, you recently completed enrollment projections for the next decade. What do they tell us?
Well, basically they indicate that student enrollment will begin to exceed the capacity of our elementary schools by 1993, and that imbalance which has been identified will grow in subsequent years. By 1996, we'll have over 600 more elementary students than we currently have space for.
Right. And what about Hammarskjöld and Churchill?
Well, as you know, we're already planning an addition to Hammarskjöld School. However, even with that, the enrollment will begin to exceed the capacity of the school in 1996. And by the end of the decade, we'll have about 500 students over capacity. That same year, we'll also have about 200 students more than we have space for at Churchill. And that includes continuing to use the classroom space that we're currently using at the Smith Annex.
Now, you've made some recommendations to the Board of Education about how to deal with this problem. Could you summarize them for us?
Yeah, they include the following elements: construction of an addition to one of our elementary schools, the reopening of Smith School as an elementary school, keeping the kindergarten through 5th grade structure that we currently have in the elementary schools. We want to maintain that. The establishment of 2 middle schools with grades 6, 7, 8, and 8, which would be housed at Hammarskjöld and Churchill, and the movement of the 9th grade to the high school. Obviously, this would require expanding the high school to accommodate the 9th graders. Incidentally, recommendations for moving the 9th grade to the high school have been made numerous times in the past by various committees composed of representatives of the Board of Education, the staff, and also the community.
Why are you recommending this change?
The main reason is that I strongly believe that middle schools and a 4-year high school would serve our students more effectively and more efficiently, and would enhance the learning experiences we provide for these youngsters. Secondly, if we don't change the grade structure, we'll have to build additions to both Churchill and Hammarskjöld schools. And that would create schools that I think would be too large for those specific grade levels. It also would cost more than it would by just expanding the high school. There's no doubt about that.
Well, now that you've made this recommendation, what will happen?
Well, the Board of Education has begun to discuss it and will continue to do so at our public sessions of the board until a decision is reached. Since the construction process is really a very, very lengthy process, it would be about 4 years from the time the decision is made until the building could be occupied by students.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the information, and I'm sure you'll be back again to keep everybody informed on the progress of what's happening. Thanks a lot.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Consumers will probably be using their credit cards more than usual during this holiday season. Credit card fraud can result when a consumer's cards are lost or stolen, or when people use someone's cards without permission. Such fraud can occur if dishonest clerks or telephone salespeople make extra copies of a credit card number when taking an order and use those numbers illegally, or if a thief picks up the numbers from discarded receipts or carbon and then uses those numbers illegally. You should be especially wary of 2 new types of scams that are being used to obtain consumers' credit card numbers fraudulently. One involves telephone calls telling consumers they have just won a prize as the result of a drawing of credit card holders. And all they need to do is give the caller a charge card number for prize verification. The other scam involves callers who offer goods at unbelievable prices if consumers will charge the purchases on their credit cards immediately. Here are some precautions you should follow to guard against credit card fraud. Sign new credit cards as soon as they arrive, and keep records of credit card numbers and expiration dates, along with the card company's address and telephone number. Keep an eye on credit cards during each transaction and retrieve them promptly. Destroy all carbons and make sure that any incorrect receipts are destroyed. Never give your credit card number over the telephone unless you initiated the call. Review credit card accounts promptly every month and report any questionable charges to the company in writing. If a credit card is lost or stolen, call the card company immediately. You are liable up to $50 for unauthorized purchases made on each of your cards prior to your call. However, you are not liable for any unauthorized charges once you have made that call. If you have any questions about the use of your credit card or any problems involving shopping during this holiday season, please be sure to call us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. The telephone number is 390-6954. Our hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
Hi, my name is Roseanne Yoon. I'm from Public Service Electric and Gas, and we're at a customer's home in East Brunswick today talking about the Senior Save program. Senior Save is a program from Public Service Electric and Gas that offers senior citizens that are on the Lifeline program up to $250 worth of free weatherization for their home. Now, these seniors should be on the state Lifeline program, which is $225 worth of money that goes to pay your gas and electric, which is offered from the state of New Jersey. If the senior citizen is on a Lifeline program, they're eligible for up to $250 worth of free weatherization from their utility. Some of these measures may be caulking windows, weather stripping windows, wrapping water heaters, wrapping pipes, adding plastic storm windows to the window to stop the drafts from coming in. All these things can help you save energy, which means saving money in the winter and also in the summer. We're all interested in saving energy, which means saving money. Public Service offers this program to senior citizens that are 65 years of age and or disabled and are on the New Jersey Lifeline. To get more information, you can call our 1-800 number, which is open every day from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. We have operators that are there all day long to assist you. That number is 1-800-854-4444. We also have operators that speak in English and in Spanish to help you. So as I said before, you should call our number and ask for the Senior Save program. It's for you. It's free weatherization from Public Service for you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean Dix. I'm an installer for REAP Incorporated. Today I'd like to talk to you about window caulking. The first thing that we're going to do is to lay a bead of caulk between the two building materials, here being concrete and wood. You want to lay a nice bead of caulk that's even, and you want to cover all the cracks in the seam. I would also like to point out that by caulking a window, it's probably the best way of stopping air infiltration through the window, and also with doors.
Hello, I'm Sharon Karmazin, Library Director, and I'm here to talk about a very exciting project that the library is involved with this holiday season. Our project is called Books to Keep, and it's being sponsored by the Libraries of Middlesex, which consists of all the public libraries in Middlesex County and Middlesex County College Library. What the libraries are doing is collecting books for distribution to needy children throughout the county. We're going to be working through local social service agencies, such as Head Start programs, soup kitchens, and daycare centers. And through those groups, we're going to be reaching children who, unlike ourselves, don't have books of their own. We feel that books are as important as toys, food, clothing, and other things that we give as gifts during the holiday. So we want children to know the joy of having books the way we do. For this, we're asking that people in East Brunswick contribute new or like new hardcover and children's books for distribution. If you don't have books at home, we're also accepting contributions of money, and there are contribution envelopes available at the library. All you need to do is bring your book contributions into the library anytime between now and December 15th. There's a big collection box at the front door, and you can leave them right there. Some of the books we've already received are over here, and you can see they're really beautiful. And we need many, many hundreds more, so we're hoping that you'll be able to contribute. The project is Books to Keep, and we're asking people all over East Brunswick to help us by bringing in wonderful books just like these. So please help us to have a very successful program here with Books to Keep in Middlesex County. Happy holidays.
At Monday night's council meeting, East Brunswick Brownie Troop number 41 was invited to salute the flag.
Girl Scouts and citizens of East Brunswick, salute the flag of your country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
In council business, several ordinances were passed, including one that will increase the fines for parking illegally in a handicapped parking space from $50 to $100, and another ordinance that will adjust connection and tapping fees in the East Brunswick Water Code. The council also unanimously approved an ordinance requiring cat owners to obtain licenses for their pets. Cat owners in the township will have until mid-March to obtain a license from the township. The license will cost a little over $8 for altered cats and $11 for those that have not been spayed or neutered. It will also require that the animals receive a rabies vaccine. Mike Mansfield, East Brunswick Animal Control Officer, talked about the recent rabies outbreak in New Jersey and the need for cat licensing.
The problem isn't with released wild animals. Wild animals aren't allowed to be released. They have to be killed before they can be released. We do have a problem with rabies. It's a problem that people in New Jersey, most people who live here now have never had to deal with. It's been 40 years since we've had it. I think we do need the cat ordinance.
There was little opposition to the ordinance due to the impending presence of rabies in Middlesex County. If cat owners fail to get licenses, they could face fines up to $500 and a possible 90-day jail term. The township will hold a free rabies clinic for residents on January 12th and February 26th at the Public Works Garage on Harts Lane. The clinics will be held on a first-come, first-served basis, and for more information about those clinics or cat licensing, please call Mike Mansfield at the Public Safety Building at 390-6900.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher, and I'm here for East Brunswick Public Schools today. I'm at Bowne Munroe School with Sharon Harrington, the music teacher. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Now, you have one of the many concerts that's being planned for this holiday season is going to be happening. Could you tell us about it?
It's going on tonight. We're starting at 7:30. The chorus will be performing, then the band, and then the orchestra will be performing. Our chorus part will consist of the children singing a few songs about winter, and they have a special song with glove choreography.
What grade levels are involved in this?
Bowne School has 4th and 5th graders involved. The children give up a recess time once a week and then come in for a special period during the week also.
And I guess we should say that we're taping this on Wednesday, so that by the time this is seen, the concert will be over, but that's okay because we'll still get to see part of it.
Absolutely, and as they say in show business, we're all going to break a leg tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy.